I've been shooting again some self-portraits in my home photography studio because, as you may know, I love to experiment with myself. This is how I learned professional portrait photography and how I managed to be incredibly creative, experimenting with myself as a model. And I had this idea in my mind I saw long ago on Pinterest because, as you may know, I love Pinterest. It's such a source of inspiration, so I really wanted to try it out. And first of all, I had to take the photos, but then the whole process would happen in post-production, in Photoshop. I went from this to this, and I actually love the result because it's very creative. And if you love portrait photography like I do, you can always get creative in post-production. So today I'm going to show you how I managed to do this, but don't worry if you're a complete beginner because it looks very complicated, but it's not. And I'm gonna guide you through all the step by step. The first thing I did, obviously, is to shoot some self-portraits in my home photography studio. Nothing fancy, as you can see. The setup was quite simple, just using two lights, one key light and one small one in the background. I wanted a very clean shot because I needed my eyes to stand out for this design to work. I took so many photos. I'm gonna share them on Instagram because some of them are very nice. I'm not gonna show them on this tutorial. For this effect in particular, I selected just the ones I knew they could work. I'm not going to get into the editing process of my portraits because I have many tutorials on my channel and I'm going to keep them coming, so subscribe if you are not yet because I share weekly videos. This one is the one I selected for this effect because it's a proper close-up and that's what I wanted because otherwise it's not going to look nice. And this is the final result. It looks like very complicated, there are so many layers, but don't worry, it's very simple. So let's start from the beginning. What you have to do is duplicate the layer first, and then you have to apply Gaussian blur. If you go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian blur, and you apply around 9. You can experiment with this a lot. I took my time because actually the idea was quite different, and experimenting you managed to end up with a different result and more personal to you maybe. So I'm gonna leave it in 9. After the blur is applied, you just have to go to Filter again and to Filter Gallery. There is an issue I encountered, so I'm gonna tell you because you're gonna go crazy otherwise. If you have the image mode in 16 bits or 32 bits, you are not going to see the filter gallery. I was going crazy with this. I was like, why I don't see the filter gallery? So you have to go to image mode and put here 8 bits, okay? So once you do that, you go to filter, you go to filter gallery, and in distort, you select glass. And you can see here the texture, how nice it is. My parameters are 20 in distortion, 2 in smoothness. Here in the texture, you put frosted, and then in scaling 145, but I'm going to show you. You can make it bigger, see, or much smaller. I like it bigger, so I'm gonna leave it in 145, and then you can click here in invert or not. This is up to you, how you like the texture. I'm gonna leave it like this in invert, and you press OK. This was quite easy, right? So then you go here and you create a new layer. You right click on it, you go to blending options, and here you select deep. And in fill opacity, you go to 0. This is very important for the rectangle to be transparent, and you press OK. And then on the layer, you press Command J just to create a group, okay? And the layer goes inside that group. Now you have to select the layer, go to the rectangle tool here, and draw a rectangle on the eyes of the portrait. You see? This is taking shape already. Then you can modify it as well. What I like to do here, you can make it bigger or smaller. This is up to you. You can play around with it. And then here, in these parameters, you can soften the corners of the rectangle. So I'm gonna go here, hover on top of this. You see the rectangle? I'm gonna exaggerate it. You see the corners? You can make a circle, rectangle. This is entirely up to you. I'm gonna leave it like that. I think that looks quite cool. I'm gonna select it actually. So transform controls, and you can move it as you wish. I'm gonna leave it there. So now the next thing we have to do is apply these kind of lines around the corners. This is very simple. You just have to create a layer. I'm gonna put it outside the group, and you go here to the shapes and you select line tool, and you click here, you press shift. So you draw a straight line. There you go. And you select the width of the stroke. I'm gonna put, let me see, 4. Too thick. I like very minimalist, so maybe I'm gonna keep it in 3. There you go. And then you can duplicate it, Command J, and you can just move it around. And here you can rotate it. This is very, very long, okay? So you have to make it smaller. To modify it, you can go here. It's quite quicker. I'm gonna put it in 80. And then you select the other one and you put the same size, 80. There you go. Then you just have to connect them between both of them, and then you can create a group so they are nicely organized in your layers. You select both, Command J, and this is a group. And I'm gonna put here right lines. So everything is very well organized when you are going through the layers, okay? Then you just duplicate this group, Command J, so transfer controls, so you know what you are doing as well. You can even leave it like this as well. It looks quite creative, but I'm gonna move it around. You have to press here in Show Transform Controls, and you see here that you can just turn it around. There you go. And that's it. You have the lines there already. And now we are going to go through the text, and you can get very creative with this. I'm gonna go here to the text tool, obviously, and you're gonna write something. Stay back, there you go. Then you click on it, Command J. It's super simple. And now you put it here. So transfer controls, you make it bigger. I really like to change the dimensions of the text to make it more edgy and not that perfect, because otherwise it doesn't look good. So I'm gonna keep it like this. And obviously I'm gonna change the text. I'm gonna put, look closer. I love it already. It looks super cool. You can even leave it like this. If you are like designing a poster or something, or a flyer for your photography business or your creative business, you can leave it like this so it's more visible, because maybe you have to prioritize the message, not the photo. By my situation, I'm a photographer, I want to prioritize the image. So what I'm going to do here, first of all, I'm gonna go here, and instead normal, I'm gonna select soft light. You can see here now the opacity, it's much lighter and it's blending with the image. And I'm gonna put it a bit on top. This is something I like. And to integrate it in the rectangle, what I'm going to do is move the text to the group and put it under the rectangle. You can see now the text gets cut. And this is what I like, because it's more integrated in the image. So what I did, because as you can see here, I'm gonna zoom in, it looks good, but I can see it's not fully blended, this title here. So what I'm going to do is select the layer, and I'm gonna go here to filter, noise, add noise. Convert to a smart object. Automatically, it's going to show this. And then here in add noise, I'm gonna elevate it a lot. This is a lot, you see, but I'm gonna put less. I'm gonna put maybe around, yeah, this is much better. Look at the text. This is the before and the after. I love it like this because it looks super editorial. The one in the top, maybe I'm gonna select here overlay, so it's different. I'm gonna move it towards the black side. You see how creative you can get with blending options. I'm gonna make it bigger. It's very small, but I like it small, way smaller than the other one. And this looks incredibly nice already, but I'm gonna remove opacity because it's too much right now. Right there. And I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna add noise. Filter, noise, add noise. And then here, the same amount actually. I'm gonna leave it like it is. And then the final touch as well, and this makes all the difference, is go to the rectangle. And as you can see now, it's a clean cut. But if you right click and go to blending options, you can be creative with this. So I'm gonna put here inner glow, is the one I used. So you can play with the opacity, the size, but I'm gonna remove opacity. I like things very, very subtle. And then the final touch, this is very important for your brand, because probably you want to do this as a flyer, as a poster, to share on Instagram, anywhere. Always branded, put your name on it, okay? Don't be scared. So I'm gonna create here a new layer, text layer, and that's it. I'm gonna put Laura PC. I'm gonna center it. You can click on the text, Command, and click on the background. And then you go here to this tool here and you center it with the background. See? That's it. You have to know that it's very good to play with fonts, and actually it's very fun. So if I already used this font for these two texts, I'm not gonna use the same one for my signature. So the one I would select would be something very, very different. This is something personal. You can do whatever, whatever you like. This one, for instance. See, it's like more personal because it's handwritten, so it's a bit more special. I like it. And it creates a lot of contrast with the image. And then you can play as well with this, with the tracking of the letters. So if you go here to the properties panel, you can play with the tracking, you see? You put it so close, so spread. This is up to you. I'm gonna put it quite close together, all the letters. There you go. And this is how it looks. But the signature now, it looks like a patch as well. I don't like it. So I'm gonna integrate it as I did with the text. So I'm gonna click here and I'm gonna go to soft light. And you can see it's like kind of blue, which I love because the background is light blue. But then what I'm going to do is go to filter, like before, noise, and add noise. See, this is the before and this is the after. It gives this organic touch. And this is the final image. I think this looks super editorial. And as you saw as well in the behind the scenes, I just shot the image with one key light in my home studio, in my living room. So you can do it at home and then experiment with post-production. You can follow along with this tutorial and change things around. So what I did after this is just pass it to black and white. And I think actually I really like the black and white. Let me know below which one you like more because I love my tones. I edited this obviously with my Lightroom presets, but I love the black and white as well. So you can experiment with this and you're gonna get addicted because you're gonna change the fonts, then you're gonna discover things on your own that you like more, and then you're going to develop your style. And this is something I'm gonna do a lot this year. I want to get more and more creative, and that's the reason why I'm building Laura VC Studio. Many of you know about this already, but I'm building a private community for everyone who wants to take photography seriously. Not just watch random videos. It's for people who want a community, who want to get feedback, real feedback on their photos from me and other members of the community, and join monthly challenges to keep you accountable. And this is going to be very fun for me as well because I really want to see your work. I'm already doing it through the mentorships, but I'm looking forward to launch the community. I'm gonna do it in April, so very, very soon. And before I launch it officially, I'm opening a few spots for you to become a founder and be part of it from the very beginning and help me shape the community. So I'm going to put the link below if you want to become a founder and join the waiting list, and I will personally reach out to you. I really hope you enjoyed this creative tutorial, and please let me know if you want more like this because I have so many ideas and I want to know if you would like to hear them, because otherwise I don't bother to create this type of videos, but I personally love them and I think you can do such a cool stuff with your own photos. Anyway, I leave it here. Subscribe to my channel if you didn't yet, and I will see you in the next one. Mwah. Big love from Bali.